Oh, that was quick.
Welcome along. We're here
Great,
for
cool.
round 9 of Formula Aero. We're here in Belgium today. It looks like it's a dry qualifying session to the hatred of me, but to the love of everyone out on that track. All 19 drivers today getting ready to throw their best lap times out in what is going to be the most tricky qualifying session of the year for those who are going at it. You've got such tight margins for your out laps and your in laps. We've got cars going already. Phase Monkey looking to be like he's going to be the first one out of this garage now. Closely followed by his teammate. Are they going to be playing any games with the toe? Could be worth up to about 3/10 on this lap. Let's see who we got coming out first. Looks like maybe one of the rookies coming out. John's boy. First driver out on track. And he'll be the first one to take on a true Wagonaga circuit. We're joined today for commentary by Gaffer. And we're looking forward to what is going to be a beautiful evening. And everyone already looking like they're going for that toe, Gaffer.
Yeah, I was waiting a while there. You were taking a while to introduce me. I was sitting in silence there for a while, but yeah, no, it should be a good race today. It's the first time we've had around these drivers for this amount of drivers for quite a while now. I think probably going all the way back. I think Mexico we had a good amount of drivers racing that day. Then after that, I think we have to go all the way back to probably Jeddah to when we've had this amount of drivers out on track. So it should be interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Congested track, and it's quite lucky that it's happening here at Belgium. The longest lap of the year, so long that it breaks the FIA regulations for an F1 track, and so long that some people, if they're not getting out on track now, might struggle to get 3 qualifying runs in during the session. But already we've got Williams and a Mercedes just behind this. That might be the likes of Nathan YU and maybe Jitarachi. Well, Jitarachi and Quiet Boy both together on track. Quiet Boy and ST locked in a vigorous championship battle. So we can go on board for the first lap here around this lovely service bar French. Nice and brave on the brakes into turn 1. We've got the car rotated beautifully through that apex. Oh, John's boy, rookie. He's going to climb up the hill through Eau Rouge and Radion and keep his foot absolutely planted down the Camel Straight, one of the longest straights on the calendar bar in Baku. Speeds climbed to well over 200 miles an hour, and on the brakes with what is a respectable first sector. Looks like he lost the rear end a little bit. That chicane up top, but down towards the bars, hardest braking zone on the track to nail, and downhill awkward, and now through no name we should be seeing a few people trying that flat as we get later in the session, and to put on a corner that we've seen easy flat for the last few games in F1, and he is clean through that. Yellow flags out as one of the Saudis, just getting out of the way of everyone else. It might be Hyper 295. Clean run. Fanny, and out towards Stabilo. It's 15.7 at the end of the millisecond, looking maybe in the mid 44s for this lap. And now all the time in the world to think about that entry into the bus stop. How late does he dare get on the brakes? It's very tricky not to lock it all up as you enter this final corner. It's a nice clean run through. Comes across the line, he's our first time on the board, and so 144.1, we expect time to go a lot lower than that. Next across the line, Nathan YU coming through with a 42.7, followed quickly by Quiet Boy. Quiet Boy going faster still. Next up on road, Jitarachi pulls off to the side He's invalidated. We've got Exil going fourth. FaZe Monkey fifth with a 45-0 for the time being. And next up, one of the McLarens. That's going to be Shano, who only goes 6. Is That Me jumps up to 4th spot with a 44.189. A few cars up ahead now. Looks like we've got one.
Yeah, Richie there was very unlucky. He got caught behind both Shano and Is That Me. I think he had a lot more kind of time in his lap. But I was kind of just keeping an eye on him on the map. But I think he had just got himself caught in a kind of train of cars there. And he's kind of set a fairly average banker of a 144.4. So expect to see that time get a lot better as the session goes on.
Absolutely, traffic, one of the biggest issues around any racetrack nowadays. Cars putting off a lot of dirty air. And so next up we got Arabang though. Looks like a pretty lazy middle sector from him. He's probably backed out and is going again. Pickle Alex not showing his true pace, I don't think yet. Only 4th, and ST I think has had a problem. I've much faster laps from the likes of him thus far. I think next across the line is going to be one of the Williams, but I think that's just for the next lap. Jitarachi abandoning his effort right at the death there. Just pulling off to the left side of the straight. Still a valid lap, so we'll have to find out
himself
him later.
Coming into the bus stop chicane. Oh, he's invalidated. He's invalidated on the last corner. Jack and UFC. That's unfortunate.
Jack and UFC, one of the lower players in this championship, but all the same hyper.
Championship.
Exactly. Always in it to win it. Hyper 295 coming across with a 51.3. Is he going to be going again? It looks like he is. Back out. Has the time, has the pace to go again.
Rudy's next across the line.
Watching him now, coming out the final corner. And one of the last people across the line, he goes 12, 46.0. Not the best time for him. What can Real Gomez do?
This is his debut.
He comes across the line and he goes P12, 46.0 again, 200ths faster than the likes of Rudy the player, and Strange McD now. Decent first sector, 30.8. What can he do through this middle part? Looks like still a reasonable time. It's not going to be lighting up these timing sheets here.
I think he's looking around that middle of the pack. I think in around the 44s is what it's going to look like for Stranger, it seems. We'll see now as he comes towards the final part of the lap.
That's Orabang out of nowhere. 43.7 from him. Going again on that same set of tyres. Stranger McD crosses the line to 44.0. Guy who's been struggling with the lap around here.
Well, he's put himself in contention, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah, he's been one of the people this week who's been saying they've been struggling with hooking up that lap around the circuit. What is he going to be able to do when we come towards the death? Next across the line, though, would have been Hypers, but he invalidated. He was in the 15s. He would have been around Strange McD and Orabang had he been able to complete that lap. Unfortunate from him.
Billy Wiz is starting his lap. He's the only person on the lap there at the moment, and will be the next one to cross the line with a lap. So I suppose we can ride on board with him for pretty much the whole lap here. European driver making his debut as well today, with his teammate currently in 8th with a 144.1.
Solid first set from Billy Wiz. 10th up on the certain Strange McD. Look at this middle sector down. There's a good chance we could be seeing him towards the top end of the field here. Like a good run through Ravage. Merman, the understeer squeezing him out wide. What can he do through Pouon?
Yeah, and of course a good race for any of these reserves. He got very fortunate there because he went very wide through Pouon. He's managed to keep it valid, but like I was just saying, a good race for any of these reserves today. They really do have a chance of, well, obviously probably not getting anywhere close to the championship battle, but definitely getting amongst that battle for the top 10. If you think of Is That Me, has had some fairly average scores since joining 3 races ago, and he's already got himself up into 11th. and 1 point behind Shano, and Shano's been racing since the start. So there's definitely an opportunity there for these reserves to come in and score well for the final four races and get up into that midfield and possibly get a seat for next season.
Back to that, Billy Wiz had a very standard middle sector, looked like he used a lot of battery. Comes up to the line, it's a 45.2, puts in P13 for now. He could have a lot more pace in that lap. I saw he was about 20% battery by the end of the Camel Straight there. That's not what we need to be seeing. He's got one of the Williams coming up to start the lap. Who will be the next to cross the line, I believe. Might be one of these Ferraris. Jack NUFC is on a valid effort right now, taking a very interesting line through Vanya. Can he get himself any sort of decent time on the board? He's in the 16s at the end of that middle sector. It's not what he needs. There'll be at least a banker down.
He can still get up to a 17, P17 potentially, as Hyper and Jitter Archie still haven't got a competitive lap time on the board, and I think he is going to be battling, I think, with Rudy and Real Gomez if he can put a good one together. So let's see what he can do. He's kept it valid this time through the bus stop.
Gotta keep it valid on the exit though, he does. As he comes across the line, it is a brilliant final sector from Jack NUFC. Into the 45.3s. They had a Shano for the time being.
Shano will not like that. He will not like that. He's starting his lap at the moment. He's just gone through Eau Rouge there, and it's been a good first sector so far, but I think it's one of the Alpine.
Nathan improving, and he loses a lot of time in that final chicane. ST will be the next to cross the line. He's found half a second so far this lap, right on the limit on that exit. He stays third, but it's a half-second improvement from himself. The top three a second away from anyone else for the time being.
Some very good laps being set. Quiet Boy is going quicker as well, and he's going to be next to cross the line to probably improve. I think the rest are all coming to the line, but I think Quiet Boy should be the one we keep an eye on. Richie's actually coming to the line now. Has he got anything better? He has. He's moved himself up into P4. Let's see what Quiet Boy can do.
43.6 from Richie. What does Quiet Boy have to improve? Finds just a few hundredths of a second, but it's a bigger gap at the top for him. Into the 42s.
That could mean a lot. He's now made it a 10th, which is always just a little psychological factor. When it's more than a few hundredths, I think it just ever so slightly throws your opponent off. That he does have to improve by a good bit. So Nathan and ST, they're going to have to get back in and back out fairly quick enough to try and take Paul off Quiet Boy. It's between these three, and if things go the way qualifying is looking, I think that's what our race is going to be looking like for the win and then the podium as well.
Shano has finally dispatched of Jack NUFC times. Next across the line is Hyper, putting a finally representative lap on the board. He's into the 43.1s, fourth place for the time being. Next across the line, one of the Mercedes. I think he's coming into the pits. Nathan YU.
Yeah, they're the lads who just finished their laps, so they'll be getting their new tyres on as quick as they can. Back out now for their final runs. Be interesting to see if Quiet Boy will even go again.
I think he'll have to go again. The grip just that much better on the final effort. Metal's kept it bound. He's improving only by a bit, but where he is right now, only a thousandth behind John's boy. What can he find? Tricky run through the final chicane. He comes across the line up to P7. Great
I was just going to say that. He was only about a tenth of a second up, and that alone I think would have put him up into P9, and if he found a little bit more in the final sector, that would have been, and I think Richie's had a problem there. What's he done there?
Trying to see if I can find an angle to hit entry.
Ooh, he's hit the wall out of the bus stop chicane.
Unfortunate for him. Still gonna be in a good position. Will Gomez just finished his lap. He found a little bit of time.
Orabang is 4 tenths up. He can really put himself amongst the battle for pole here if he gets some more time through the final sector.
Needs a good bus stop. Yeah, he has abandoned it.
He's going to go in and go again.
Yeah, I think he just wants that fresh tyre at the end. That's going to be what's key. Pickle Alex actually, one of the first out for the final run, alongside the likes of FaZe Monkey. And there's one of the Alpines, I believe that's Metal, who actually might have just finished and going again.
Is that me coming to the end of his lap? He is 3/10 up on his time.
If he finds anything more, can do a little bit like what the likes of Orabeng was able to do, what the likes of Richie was able to do. Can he put himself up into the middle of that top 10? It looked like a reasonable run in that final chicane, but he loses so much in that final sector. Finds a little bit of time, but it doesn't translate to the position for him.
I think that is it for Is That Me as well. It's going to be P13 at best. I can't see him improving or getting into the pits and improving. And unless Shane, I think he looks safe enough. I think he's right at the back of that kind of pack from the NXL all the way back to him. I think unless Shane puts a really good lap together at the end, I think he should be P13. Unless any of the ones below, of course, improve as well. I think we might be able to see a little bit more of FaZe Monkey as the qualifying goes on, because he has been fairly quick the last few races as well.
FaZe Monkey just coming in to start his final flying lap. He has the time to abandon it should he need. And that's what's going to be key right now.
It'll be Pickle Alex though. Pickle Alex third in the championship. He's going to be the first of our championship leaders to cross the line, as he's getting a bit of a tow off one of the McLarens of, I think, Shano, going down in towards turn 7. And so far he's put together a fairly good lap. He's heading now down in towards turn 12 of Puyon, and so far his final run is looking very smooth. Of course, he needs a massive improvement to get anywhere in and around the top 3, and I think he's abandoned it. He's had a problem there in his last time, and he's going to abandon. He's going to go again. So it will be FaZe Monkey will be the first one to finish his final lap. He's over.
Unfortunately though, Gaffo, Alex won't be going again. Doesn't have the fuel in the car.
Oh, and he's gone off into the gravel.
I think just pulling out. I think just pulling out the way of his teammate. Maybe just having some issues.
Like I was saying to you beforehand as well, I think
FaZe Monkey invalidates.
So that's the end of his lap, unless he has time to go again. Does he have much? No, he doesn't have much battery.
He has the time, not the battery. That looks like it's going to be the end of his session.
He's going to try it anyway.
Yeah, I don't think he can find much with the amount of battery he has. Who do we have out there right now flying? It is a pile-up at the final corner right now. Pickle Alex pulls into the pits to end his qualifying session. Strange McD was down a little bit in that first sector and just trying to find someone who's on an improvement right now. I think we have one of the Red Bulls, as Nathan YU goes to provisional pole. A 42.5 for him. Keeping an eye on Quiet Boy.
Improving. ST is improving. He's a tenth up.
Quiet Boy's on the same improvement. We're going to be keeping on board with Quiet Boy, but ST coming to the end of his lap. He stays third fastest. Quiet Boy though, what has he found in the middle sector? He's another 10th up. He's got the same improvement as ST.
This is going to be Paul.
Yeah, it's going to be Excel next across the line, followed by one of the Alpines. That might be Billy Wiz. And then we're going to see who's fighting for Paul. Excel with a massive slide out the final corner. Still finds the time. Next up is Billy Wiz. He's found a lot of time and he's up to 7th. But next up, Quiet Boy, what can he do? It's a 42.4 from Quiet Boy. Stranger McD in the background, next across the line. He comes to 5th, 43.3 for him. We've got one of the Williams, I believe Jitarachi. He crosses the line. He comes to P7. Orabeng is on an improvement. Where we got Hyper on the track right now. A little bit up and he might get a distant tow. I think Hyper could get a decent distant tow here from Shano.
I think it's only going to cement him further in 4th. I don't think he has the speed to go any quicker.
Yeah, Shano half a second in the middle sector. He keeps that half second. He's up to 12th for the time being.
It was close. 2
Hype.
milliseconds.
Disappointment for Hyper. Orabeng goes 5th fastest. After all of that, and Rudy pulls himself up to 16 at the death of the session. Everyone finding time in their final runs. Quiet Boy from Nathan YU, from ST, then Hyper, who's only missed out on 3rd by 0.02 of a second. That being how close the margins are here this weekend. And in that mid-pack, it is going to be a race and a half. From Richie all the way down to Is That Me, half a second. It's all that covers.
This is a massive statement from Mercedes to take the fight really to Williams today. Both drivers in the top 6. Of course, Archie had a few problems on his runs. He's only 8th at best, so potentially they can really get themselves amongst the fight. But
and Nathan YU with all the prep in the world as well. He's had the 3 weeks after having that race ban for Brazil. He spent the last 3 weeks grinding away at Belgium every day. But Quiet Boy, you can't beat the class of the field.
Well, I have to say as well, I think this is a huge upset for the likes of Pickle Alex and Metal Metal, because both of them still technically in contention for the championship, and with where they've qualified, they have an awful lot of work to do in order to take home some points and keep in the fight. Of course, if there's no mathematics yet, there's still 100 points up for grabs, so technically Shano is still in the championship fight if things go his way, but at the moment it's looking very unlikely. But it looks like we're going to get straight into the race here. Can I get a quick prediction?
Quick prediction, I want to say if it stays dry, we're going to see Nathan win. I think we're going to see a bit like Abu Dhabi again between ST and Quiet Boy. It's going to get very close. It's going to get a bit boisterous between the two of them. And I think there's going to be potentially an upset. I think Metal Metal could come up a little bit, find a bit of pace. You know, we've got the likes of Orabeng, new driver on the grid. We don't know what his race pace is like. But as it stands right now, a lot of drivers on mediums, which is not what I expected. The mediums die out so quickly here. We've got a tyre compound step at this track. We've got the C3 medium and the C1 hard, which without a formation lap is going to be impossible to heat up. But it's 5 red lights. And we're lights out and away we go. Looks like a good start for Quiet Boy. ST with an awful start. Hyper's up to 3rd. Orabeng gets up there as well, but Orabeng's round at turn 1, and we've got a few drivers round in the background. Quiet Boy away cleanly. Jidarachi dropping down to the back of the field right now. Richie having issues. Shano gaining a few places. John's boy out. Pickle Alex and that whole pack already dropped 2nd. Billy Wiz, 10-second penalty for ignoring yellow flag, and there's chaos in the background. One of the McLaren's off. And it's absolutely 3 wide in at the end of the straight. Looks like FaZe Monkey up to 7th off this race start.
He's dropped. He's lost places here. I think he's been forced
Maybe
off.
Love takes 3 wide again through Rivage. A little bit of damage. It looks like one of the Haas front wing end plates. A few drivers off in the background. ST dropping down to 16th. It's been an awful start. And he looks like he's got wing damage. Pickle Alex and Hyper's 3rd and 4th right now. ST with wing damage and wheel to wheel with Rudy right at the back. I think
McLaren's picked up damage as well. I think that could be.
That's FaZe Monkey picking up damage.
He lost damage there.
Yeah, he's lost his front right end plate. He's going to be still up in P10. Real Gomez off the track in the background. Very lucky to keep it in a straight line. And it's absolute chaos here on lap 1 in Spa.
But somehow we still have all 19 drivers.
Yeah, somehow we've still got people wheel to wheel as we come into the final chicane. 2 or 3 wide all the way down the grid. We've got a Ferrari off in the background. That's Arabang and Bays Monkeys round. From what was a dream start to chaos, Rudy the player pulls into the pits, and it looks like it maybe has settled down now, but Jitarachi getting dove by Jack NUFC, can't keep it on the track, and he's going to drop a few places to that. Shano now on the back of Jitarachi and Real Gomez, but the field spread already incredible with the gaps that we've seen formed. But Shano now on the back of Real Gomez. Is he going to pass Real Gomez the same way Vettel passed Hamilton? And can he make it past Jitarachi down the inside of the top chicane? Not enough downforce.
And Jack NUFC.
Jack NUFC in the wall. He's got half a front wing now. But a terrible start for ST.
Yeah, I got that on video. Yeah, I think ST has damage. He's struggling to pick up any sort of straight line speed at the moment. And Jack NUFC must have had that in excess, because he was very, very quick. ST almost trying to force a move down in towards Lecombs, and he just couldn't get it done. And there was a bit of a clipped wheel there into turn 7, and both of them went off at turn 8. So he's ended up getting by him in the end. But yeah, it looks a lot like a frustration for ST at the moment. So
ST with
really be slipping away now here.
Yeah, ST with a great qualifying and just falling away. Rudy the player picking up our first 3-second time penalty of the race. But out in front, just as something to remember, Quiet Boy with a 2-second gap already over the man who has been practicing for the last 3 weeks. That was absolute chaos, and the gaps on track going.
Now, of course, you also have to take into consideration ST, Nathan and Hyper all on the hard tyres, so they'll be on a slightly alternate strategy to the players on the mediums, especially Quiet Boy and Nathan, which you might see Quiet Boy a little bit quicker, as we're 3 wide going into Eau Rouge between Orabang, Shanu and Jirachi, and Shanu and Orabang collide going up Eau Rouge.
Contact between Shanu
comes out the worst of it.
Yeah, through goes Jitarachi. Jack NUFC picking up his signature 3-second time penalty, and more contact for Shano into the back of Jitarachi. Both end plates off for Shano, and he's going to need to pit and get off those medium tyres and get a new front wing. And the one thing I feel bad for ST is he's dropped all the way back, he's got wing damage, and he started on that alternate strategy. What can he do to bring himself back into this race now?
Well, I think he just has to keep driving at the moment. Maybe hope that a safety car happens, which at the moment I think could happen soon. I think there could be anyone to hit the wall here, and the fact we still have 19 drivers after what I witnessed in that start is just insane. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Metal off the track there, and letting his teammate by. Metal and Billy was swapping places now, and that's put him under pressure from John's boy, the rookie. The 2 rookies passing the veteran. Metal down to P8 after just one small mistake from himself. Is he going to be able to find a way through in the bus stop? No, but Billy Wiz a little bit deep into the first bus stop. What's going to happen now? As in the background, Richie looking to get involved, and he's actually got through on Metal. Can he keep it stuck down the inside? Into the wall for John's boy, and that's both end plates gone for him as well. Lucky to get going again very quickly, but he's actually lost a huge chunk of his front wing. That's going to be a pit stop for him. How is that still flat through Eau Rouge? He's missing half a front wing.
Richie's getting a run here on one of the Alpines as
but
well.
up front though, Pickle Alex and Nathan YU wheel to wheel through Lake Harmon and down towards Ravage. And Nathan YU has actually been dispatched by Pickle Alex, but Pickle Alex on that medium compound attire as ST dropping away again. Has he had a problem at Lake Harm? He has. He's round again. And just a day of disaster for him. And is he now going to get overtaken by everyone's favourite driver, Jack NUFC? No, I think just a little bit more downforce on that front end for Richie. Who could have predicted this start? Yeah, Quiet Boy, the 3-second gap out front. But he's going to have that time loss later as Richie and Metal nearly going wheel to wheel through the Fanu chicane. And through
I'd love to
Stabilo
see
now.
what does.
Through Stabilo now. And towards Blanchimont. Is Richie going to have a way through on Metal? Or is he just going to sit back and bide his time? Low ERS for Richie. Low ERS for both of them. And Richie with a very weird spin.
Rear lock.
Rear locking. Under braking. And surely that's a pit stop now as we see John's boy come in for the first pit stops of the race along with Metal. Hyper now though, on the back of Nathan YU. He's going to have a great run. Both of them running that same tyre strategy. To the inside looks Hyper. Can he make a move stick? He gets it stopped. Can he leave the space? Small contact between Nathan YU and Hyper, and he's off in the gravel.
I think it was
But
fair
no
though, it
damage
looked
done.
like good racing.
Fair, hard racing, something that we've seen so little of from Nathan. Finally coming through as ST
That part.
clears Real Gomez, and in the background, Jack NFC under pressure right now from FaZe Monkey. Exel might have disconnected. He's got a fully ghosted car there.
I'll see if I can invite him back in.
He's dropping down slightly. Is that me and Shano going at it into Playcom? And an easy move for Shano, both of them with fresh front wings after the dramas from the start. Jack NFC might actually be under serious pressure from FaZe Monkey here. Just keeping close as Metal. Historically a good one on the penalties. Picking up his 3-second already. Pickle Alex, it's his rear end. Looking like a time trial set up there. He's all over the place as we start lap 6 here in Belgium. And could this be a chance as Billy Wiz comes in for another early stop? All these medium tyre runners are going to be starting to feel the pain, and this is where the likes of Hyper and Nathan are going to really come into play now. As those mediums die off, those hards are going to come to life. And if you can't hold on to those mediums, you just need to get rid of them. Is Nathan going to have a go here at Pickle Alex? Doesn't look like he can. As through Lacom, they come. And nothing coming of it, but a good exit there from Nathan. Is he going to try anything into Ravage? Picks the safer option. And just sits behind. There's still activity in that pit lane. And who's maybe going to play for an undercut here? The likes of Stranger McD. If he's on that medium tyre, which he is, an undercut could be perfect as Pickle Alex. Bit wide through Puon. Picking up his 3-second penalty. That's going to put Nathan's mind probably under a bit more stress, seeing Quiet Boy 3 seconds out in front. And knowing that he needs to just clear Pickle Alex so he can start catching before Quiet Boy makes his stop, and it's a great chance at the undercut. There is going to be one issue here for anyone who starts on that medium, and they're going to be caught at the end if there isn't a safety car. Which right about now we could do with a safety car, bring everyone back together and see if that causes another race start for us. But through the final chicane, Nathan YU only 3/10 off, and Hyper closing close to Pickle Alex as well. This could be an incredible lap as Nathan touches the wall on the inside of turn 1. But now Hyper dropped back a little bit, but he could absolutely slingshot past his teammate. The gap 6/10 from Pickle Alex to his teammate as we head down the Kemmel Straight now. Everyone burning everything they have, and what can Nathan do? He should easily clear Pickle Alex, but they're on the outside. There's contact between Pickle Alex and Nathan. Very brief, and Pickle Alex just keeping the place. Can Nathan get a switch back? No. Pickle Alex holding nicely. Nathan getting 2 tyres on the grass there. Trying to find his way around. Pickle Alex getting frustrated, and he's off the road a little bit. They're still wheel to wheel as they come through No Name. And Nathan YU finally having to concede in that little battle. Hyper a mile off track there as well. And actually I see something that's very close on track, but I think was just a change of position. Metal and Jack NUFC. Jack with that wing damage, and Orbeng picking up his first penalty. Down the inside goes John's boy on Jack NUFC, and he makes it clear of Jack NUFC, a full front wing compared to half a one. And now it's Billy Wiz's turn.
Nathan nearly onto the grass there. He's under a lot of pressure here from Hyper.
As we go back to the front, is Hyper going to make that dive into the final chicane? He doesn't have to, and he doesn't. We see now Nathan actually falling away from Pickle Alex a bit. This could be Hyper's big opportunity. Commits to the inside. Can't quite get past Nathan, but there is a great chance here that Hyper could clear Nathan. Who has more battery? I can't see Nathan, but I can see Hyper is already burning into a Rouge. They're inside each other a little bit of lag, probably saving Hyper there. But down the back straight, practically pushing Nathan towards Lecom, and it's going to be a clean clear overtake this time for Nathan YU. Jack NUFC pulls into the pits, and Nathan YU finally picking up a penalty here.
I've seen that. He's just gone wide out of turn 7. He's frustrated now. He's got overtaken and he's losing out places, and I think that's his own fault because he has gone onto this alternate strategy on the cards, and he has to go a little bit more conservative than the guys ahead of him, and he hadn't. And in doing so, he's gotten very frustrated here, and he's losing places because of it.
Nathan a mile wide through Puon there. He came into this race so confident that he could just drive away at the front. But now his teammate, even on old mediums, looks to be closing a little bit. And Pickle Alex making the switcheroo with Hypers there, and in turn giving Nathan the position. Was that a mistake from Alex on the exit of final corner, as MD and Exel might have made a mistake there? No, he's just still looks like he's disconnected. As finally our race leader, Quiet Boy, the end of lap 8, coming into the pits. Been a great first stint from him. Pickle Alex going to follow him in? No, keeps going for the time being. It's Nathan and Hypers switch positions once again.
Well,
Hypers.
It's been an absolutely great start for Quiet Boy, and I think he's going to come out in a really nice part of the track here with a load of really kind of clean air here to get those hards up to temperature, and all he's hoping for now is no safety car in the next few laps, and I think he'll be cruising home to another race win.
Nathan YU takes back the race lead. Simple DRS overtake for him down the Camel Straight. And Quiet Boy, as you said. What happened to Pickle Alex? I think he made a mistake on the exit of Fanya.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know.
I think he let both Nathan and Hype. I think he was trying to let his teammate through, and in turn let Nathan through as well. And now Nathan can stretch his legs out in front. If he can keep it clean, he might be able to pull a gap as Hyper picks up his penalty. But Quiet Boy.
In the end, Excel back into the race as well. So all 19 drivers are human. So that means we may have an incident later on in the race. But so far we've had 9 laps and everything. Well, I wouldn't say it has been clean, but it's definitely been hasn't been too dirty because we haven't had any safety cars so far. Which I suppose you can take that as a good thing or a bad thing, because I think other than up front, I think we're not really finding much of interest here at the moment, and we'd love to see ST, who's been going a while here on those hard tyres, get a bit of luck and maybe get himself back into this race. We'll have to find out soon.
You know what ST needs, Gaffo? He needs a safety car.
Stranger McD into the pits. His mediums have come to an end, and I think Pickle Alex will probably follow him in the next lap. I think he was just waiting for Stranger to come in so he doesn't get hurt by the overcut or by a potential safety car, which would lead to an overcut. But
Yeah, we're looking at Quiet Boy potentially, if there was a safety car now, still being able to come out in the lead, as Hyper and Nathan just seeming to be towing each other along with DRS at
Yeah,
this point.
nearly forced onto the grass though, Hyper, and I don't think he'd be too happy with that now. And I'm sure he'll probably be straight into the report an incident after the race with some of these incidents. Now, so far, I've seen it very hard and clean, but I don't know. Hyper will obviously think differently, but we'll see how it continues. Does these two collide? I think this is the kind of battling that we want.
I can
Out
tell you
front,
who is fighting. Jitterarchi and Metal Medal. Quick and clean move. Metal Medal 2/10 off as he came out of Eau Rouge and Radion. It was Pickle Alex. Has he made a mistake? Looks like he might have. He's lost a lot of time there. Out of No Name, and Quiet Boy has cleared him. It's time for Pickle Alex to make a pit stop here, as he goes well off track. Is this gonna maybe be a safety car as he retires? Are we gonna see a safety car coming out as Hyper and Nathan wheel to wheel, and Nathan taking the lead back through Blanchimont? As Pickle Alex has come to a stop and there is not a safety car yet.
What's that about using fourth place? I don't understand that at all, and I think that is season over for Pickle Alex now because of that. That's very unfortunate.
Yeah, Pickle Alex, as I can see, reported game issues.
Okay.
Really unfortunate for him, causing that issue. I know exactly what happens with that. Your controller disconnects and you're in the wall. But Nathan and Hypers again, down the Camel Straight. Looked a lot cleaner this time, but Hyper had every claim to that position. I think our battle that could occur for a while now, Richie and Billy, and Hyper and Nathan, while Quiet Boy clearly gaining on these guys. And 3/10 in one gap update, as I heard something hitting a barrier. Could have just been something with the game. Didn't see anyone around that could have hit the barrier other than one of these two. It looks like, yeah, Billy Wiz not enough battery right now to really do anything about the guy he's racing. Axel seemed to make another mistake on the exit of turn 1. It has not been his best showing. As Real Gomez and FaZe Monkey on track down the Camel Straight. Real Gomez with no battery. Is he going to be able to make a move on FaZe Monkey? Takes a look to the inside, fills up his mirrors. Nothing coming of it just there.
This race is definitely all in Quiet Boy's hands here at the moment, and if a safety car does come to ST's rescue, I think he could definitely finish second, because with Hyper and Nathan both having 3-second penalties, I think if ST gets himself back into the mix, I think he will finish in second place. That being if the safety car does come, because Hyper and Nathan are well out in front, so he definitely is relying on that. But I'm sure he'll probably come in. I think Orbang will get him, but he'll probably come in and change his wing, take that extra kind of 5 seconds, take that hit, but do it for generally just for performance. Once you're on much of a fresh wing and a brand new set of tyres, I think you could be flying for the last 9 or 8 laps of this race. But we'll have to see.
Hypers again. Sorry to cut in on you there, Gaffo.
Oh, good.
But for the first time, someone has kept the lead down that Camel Straight when there's been DRS behind him. Hypers staying ahead of Nathan YU for the time being. Looking like they might have gone wheel to wheel into that section. Just there, but everything staying clean. Maybe a little bit of contact off Nathan's front wing as Is That Me comes in to make his pit stop. But by the strategist's calculations, if there was a safety car now, I think everyone would be in for a fresh meet and go into the end now. That's what they're having to consider. If there is a crash that takes someone out in a way that causes a safety car, we might see a very scrappy tyre save to the end.
We'll have to wait and see. I think Hyper is actually starting to gain on Nathan here a bit. Now both of them obviously on the hards, they're not racing for first, although it might look they are. Quiet Boy has gained 4 seconds there in about 2 laps, so It is definitely his race to lose at this stage, which is big for the championship fight.
Got a yellow flag. It's one of the Ferraris of Orabang. And I think he's just had a little mistake coming through Stabilo, but he's right on the back of John's boy now as they come into the final chicane. Plenty of space left between these drivers, and John's boy keeping the position as it stands. Jitarachi clears Metal Medal. And is that Metal Medal going tactical as to not lose the position? We'll have to see.
Oh, Orabang's gone down the inside into one. It's not paid off for him. These two really scrapping it out here.
And Nathan and Hypers were just going wheel to wheel through Lake Hom. Hypers ending up off the track in the gravel on the outside as Nathan had gone off the track on the inside. Have to see what comes of that after the race. Orabang and John's boy might finally be resolved as Orabang up to P6 and finding 7/10 after the overtake. Looking just further back, is Metal Medal going to be able to hold on to that P7? Makes contact with the back of Jitarachi's car as there's 4 cars in extremely close proximity in this section of track. But Jitarachi still with wing damage. He's in a struggle now through this twisty middle sector to try and stay with a gap to this group. But 3 distinct groups at this point are formed on track as Axel takes yet another pit stop, and if he's not careful could end up
Hyper's in the pits.
flat. Hyper, first one to make the jump to mediums, slows down for his marks. Quiet Boy has been closing on these two in a rapid fashion these past few laps. I don't think it was quite worth it yet, knowing what pace you can pull out of these tyres late on in the race to come in for Hyper.
Back of ST here as well.
ST pulls into the pits to make his first stop. It's not been a great afternoon, but he could still come out here in P11. There'll be a massive gap to overcome for him.
I have to say, Jitarachi is doing an unbelievable job there in P7 to hold off these two behind. But just as I say that, I think
he goes tactical. I think he's going tactical there, Gaffo. He's going to be wheel to wheel with Richie. Up Eau Rouge and through Radion. They keep it nice and clean. Who has that top end speed though? It's going to be Richie and Jitarachi with DRS. Who's going to come out on top? Metal Medal still holding his own. It's going to be wheel to wheel into Lake Hom. And Richie just barely unable to keep his position there. It's in the back. Shano comes into the pits to make his pit stop. We've got these 3 so close on track, but I think now in the sturdy air, Jitarachi might fall back a little bit.
He does have damage from the start still as well, when his car, I think, ended up nearly on top of someone into turn 1. Now I think he's on top of the world somehow, up into P9 and ahead of ST as well. Of course, has he made his stop yet? He has as well. 12-second lead to ST behind him. So
yeah, ST's just made his stop, but you know who's coming in? It's Nathan from the lead of the race. Quiet Boy was only a second and a half behind as he came in to make that pit stop. So where's he going to come out? Might have lost a decent chunk of time to Hypers this lap.
Of course, he gets the corner. We'll see now. He might be head really side to side with his teammate here.
Yeah, Hyper's a mile ahead.
He is.
Stranger McD, after a really early stop for Hards, and actually the instant switcheroo, Nathan goes straight back in front of Stranger McD. I think that's
2 laps now to chase down Hyper on fresher tyres. So
yeah, and Stranger McD, I think, playing the team game there. He knows Nathan's faster around this track. And Jitarachi's clear. Richie.
His championship battle may be coming to any sort of close as well with this.
Yeah, but you know who is still fine? It's Jitarachi, who doesn't have enough speed down the Camel Straight to gain enough on Metal Medal to get back ahead. As Real Gomez and FaZe Monkey come into the pits. to make another stop for them in this race. What was a clear one stop beforehand has turned into whatever you want it to be. It's a yellow flag on track. Shano. Is Shano slow on the main straight, spin maybe out of the bus stop there. And actually, Shano coming up towards being lapped at this point in this race. Barely separated by 20 seconds to Quiet Boy.
Still those three for 7, 8 and 9. They're the only battle I think we have on track here at the moment.
Yeah, Jitarachi is doing an incredible job this race to stick with people who have full front wings as hyper sets of 45.5. That is a statement laid. As into the final chicane, Jitarachi having a few looks here, and I think Shano's pulled off to retire at Lecom, unless that is a mistake from him. But Jitarachi looking to have a go at Metal Metal, can't do anything into turn 1. Shano extremely slow on the track right now, not sure what's going on with him. I think he might have just made a mistake. But here we go, Jitarachi 2/10 off the back of Metal Metal. Surely the move is going to happen here. Down the Camel Straight. The only fight still going on the track. Are they going to get side by side? Doesn't look like they are. Jitarachi just can't do enough as Shano off again right at the back. And he has finally been lapped in this race.
Yeah, he's just really struggling today.
Yeah, rough afternoon for Shano. Priorities have been elsewhere this week.
Yeah, I think he's just going to pull into the pits now and retire, is my guess. Only one retirement from this race is very, very impressive, and I'm very, very pleased to see it. Of course, both the Racing Bulls and the Williams have had a very strong race today. I suppose ST, probably not the race that you'd wanted, but his teammate is doing well for him. But with the Mercedes making a huge statement here today to really get that Constructors' battle back on going into Australia next week. So that's going to be very, very interesting indeed.
Yeah, I think Williams are actually still going to come out on top at the end of all this with...
Well, with the win, I'd say they will. They are already with a 30-point lead as well, but they'll definitely be a lot
Metal in the
closer.
pits. Metal having to make a second stop in this race. That promotes Jitarachi to 7th and gives him more of a chance to keep them ahead.
Right involved with the battle here as well. He was 12 seconds behind Jitarachi at one stage, and now he's only 2 behind him. So.
Yeah, but at the
really
top of Radion, Richie and Jitarachi practically nose to tail as Richie
you
clear
can see
through.
ST in the background. He's ready to get involved. And I think it would be an absolute miracle if he manages to get up to 7th here. Because I think if he does, I could almost see his
Baze
teammate.
Monkey dives down the inside of turn 1, makes up 2 positions in turn 1 here. Jack NUFC and FaZe Monkey battling out on track. Jack NUFC gets the position back for the time being. But who got the DRS? Definitely is that me. Who went tactical enough? Not FaZe Monkey, as it should be clear and through. Or is that me? Around the outside of Lecom. Can he keep it together? He certainly can. But FaZe Monkey just barely keeping that position as ST has officially joined the fray. The 2 battles on track for P7, 8 and 9 and for 13th to 16th at the moment.
I do honestly believe as well, if ST does get by these 2 and maybe gets a gap of around 3 or 4 seconds, I could see his teammate, I think he is his mate, slowing all the way down to give ST that extra 2 points in the championship, which could mean the difference with how many points Quiet Boy's taken home today. We're too late for any sort of safety car, so this is it. They're racing till the end now.
And ST at turn 1 having a look But Jitarachi can't make anything happen, but he is going to be right on the back of that Williams. All the way down the Camel Straight now. And surely an easy move for ST down the Camel Straight. As Jitarachi with the DRS to defend. Does he have the battery? Certainly gave up the slipstream and around the outside and clean through. Well, quiet boys, there's a little bit of catastrophe towards at that rear battle, as FaZe Monkey dropping all the way to 16th in one straight, and the Haas of Real Gomez actually getting past Is That Me, and they might be wheel to wheel through Eau Rouge. Who's going to be bravest? As Is That Me picks up a little bit of a penalty. Small cut on the apex, and Is That Me overtaking Real Gomez through Eau Rouge. And now
FaZe Monkey's got so much speed in a straight line here.
yeah, and can he make that move on Is That Me? Takes a very tight line through Les Combes as ST clears Richie up ahead. Nothing can go on here as ST might have cleared Richie and Stabilo. Is that a mistake from Richie?
No,
they're still side by side as they come towards the bus stop. Who's going to come out on top? I think if ST's smart about this, he'll leave it, but he's going for it. Small bit of contact between Richie and ST. They're going to be wheel to wheel down the main straight, but ST with that DRS staking his claim to that P7 for the time being. Someone else who's getting vulnerable is Hyper. He's dropped back into Nathan's DRS range here, so maybe a chance for still a bit of an upset on the podium. Gotta wait and see. Richie, if he doesn't need to save battery, should have it clean through down this straight. Light flashing on all three cars. There is Richie on the inside of Les Combes. Can't get it done. Jack NUFC picking up a 10-second penalty for corner cutting it into the wall. FaZe Monkey. Jack NUFC putting FaZe Monkey into the wall, and there is a safety car. That is going to spice things up. It's going to be a 2-lap sprint to the end, as far as I could think.
What happened with FaZe Monkey there?
FaZe Monkey shoved into the wall by Jack NUFC, but critically, Quiet Boy into the pits.
Does Piper stay out? Does he get out ahead of Piper?
He'll definitely stay behind, end up behind Hyper, but you'd be crazy not to pit right now.
Piper's coming in. No one's taking
Hyper coming in, Nathan coming in, surely Stranger McDee's coming in.
I don't think this safety car will have to come in on lap 20, I think. So this is only going to come round for one lap. So
yeah,
whoever wants to catch up is going to have to get moving.
Stranger McDee stays out. Stranger McDee stays out, Gaffer. And he's going to get up to P2.
He is. He's
But how are the times?
I think he's going to let his teammate by.
Jack NUFC retires from the race.
He's retired in the pit lane, I think. No, he hasn't.
No,
he's
retired at Puon. Into the pits comes ST, staying out Richie. Into the pits, Jitarachi. Who are we going to have coming in? Is Billy Wiz in? Billy Wiz is in. Metal surely staying out. He's still got fresh enough tyres. Rudy, I think, can't pit. I think from Rudy down, you have to stay out, or you're not going to catch that safety car train.
They have this lap, and then it'll be in. That's it. So they're going to have to really put their foot down now.
There is a chance that there's one more lap of the safety car.
Shane
Still on lap 19. It's lap 20. Billy Wiz comes out just in front of Rudy the player, and they need to get going, otherwise it's going to be a pure race between probably the top 7 to the finish. A quick look at tyres. Quiet Boy, fresh medium. Stranger McDee, 10-lap old hard. Nathan YU, fresh medium. Hyper and Orabang, fresh hard. Fresh soft.
In really good position here. The fresh softs are going to be so much quicker than the mediums, and especially Stranger McDee. He's going to be a sitting duck off the start. So I think he's going to have to either hope his teammate does defending, or just let his teammate by on the straight.
And it is one lap only, Gaffer. Safety car in this lap.
Metal is going as quick as he can, trying to catch up to the pack. I think Quiet Boy should probably try and get this going as quick as he can.
I think Quiet Boy needs to back them up. He needs to have Stranger McD on the coldest hards he can have. But when's he going to make that jump? It's not going to be through Blanchard.
ST, Jitter Archie, they will all be in the battle for the end. I think that's who it will end on. Jitter Archie will be the last driver to join, and then that will be the race till the end.
Shano gets to join the queue. Out of all the drivers, it's going to be a jump out the final corner as Stranger McD already having a look into the final corner on Quiet Boy. Down the main straight we come now. One person on old tyres, the rest on fresh. Hyper and Orabang are going to be wheel to wheel. As it's a clean getaway for Quiet Boy, and I think this Stranger McD strategy is only going to be helping Quiet Boy. Orabang,
he's got by Hyper.
Yeah, it looks like they're still maybe fighting. Nathan and Charlie. Nathan and Stranger McD switching places now. Down the back straight, surely Orabang has to get through on Stranger McD here, or he is not winning this. Down the back straight, Orabang around the outside of Stranger McD. He takes the position, but remember, those behind Quiet Boy have to get 3-second gap as well. Unless Quiet Boy makes one of those you get a warning mistakes, but he's not a driver to get a warning. John's boy is going to be making a move here on Stranger McD. Can he do it down the inside of Puon? Not quite. The car's bouncing around. ST down to 10th. Did he stay out? That's the question.
No, he's on fresh sauce. He's just really struggling out there.
Yeah, someone else struggling. Stranger McD. He's going to drop so far down. Why would you stay out on that safety car? But crucially at the front, Nathan.
They had to double stack. The Mercedes had to double stack. I think he was playing his odds.
I think he's tried to roll the dice. It's not Vegas though. It's not what it paid off for him today. As into the final chicane, can Quiet Boy pull that critical second gap from Nathan YU before they get to that DRS detection? It looks like he has. Nathan YU just barely outside of DRS. A 44.6 as that Metal and Jidarachi scrapping away. How's the exit for Quiet Boy? He needs to burn everything he has down here, but Nathan YU just about keeping the position for the time being. Stranger McD still holding on to P5, and there's not going to be a move, at least for Nathan, down this straight, but Orabank has got a massive gap to the guy in front of him. Will Hyper go for the move into Lake Calm? Sticks behind for now.
Wrapping here behind 4 abreast into Lake Calm.
Stranger McD overtake by I Love Cheating. Jidarachi having to cut the corner a bit, and Metal keeping the position for the time being. ST though right in the middle of this. Can he do anything with the chaos? At the back here, he's got a full front wing. Jidarachi does not. Those are the gaps we're looking at right now. Who has the most aero through this middle sector? Who's going to be able to keep up? ST's weekend might have gone from bad to worse.
I think we have to look at the front, because Nathan is 6/10 behind Quiet Boy going into the final sector here. He will get a run down through Blanchimont and possibly maybe have one last chance in the chicane to see if he can take the win off Quiet Boy.
Yeah, down towards the bus stop chicane. Quiet Boy dominated this race. He has led every lap where he has not been at a pit stop deficit. He got pole in qualifying. He's been a dominant force this season. And he comes across the line to win in Spa. Nathan YU with a great recovery to second. I Love Cheating and John's boy coming in third. Hyper fourth. Stranger McD fifth. Arban down to sixth. Richie gets himself P7 from penalties. 8th for Metal. 9th for Jidarachi. 10th for ST. Billy Wiz 11th. Rudy the player 12th. Axel coming through the final corner with one of the Williams destroyed cars In the middle of the road, Exil comes home 13th. Next across the line is gonna be Is That Me? Coming into 14th. 15th for Real Gomez. And Shano coming home pretty much a lap down to the entire field.
What happened to Orabang as well? He lost so many places on the final lap there. He was running in third for his first podium, and something must have happened, because that is big upset.
I think he had penalties.
Or was it? Oh, that's what happened.
I think Orabang had penalties.
Well, I think Hyper and Granger did, and Nathan did as well, did they not?
Hyper only had a 3-second. We had to double check, see if he got some big thing towards the end here. Doesn't look like much. What did he have in terms of penalties, Orabang? He had 2 penalties, and that's what cost him. With that safety car, he had 6 seconds, the rest with 3. But John's boy, we didn't notice this, John's boy gets a podium on debut for VCarb.
That's big for the Racing Bulls, because they needed that.
They needed the podium. And to be fair, for someone to bring some points other than ST, it's a great debut for him. A few debutants showing great. Orabang had such good pace the entire race. Billy Wiz kept it clean throughout, even with 9 seconds. And the most penalty award goes to Jack NUFC, who had 12 seconds of penalties. Plus a 10-second corner cut, but I think he's going to be investigated after this race, knowing what we've seen today. But next round,
I've already seen the incident on what happened there, so that's going to be fairly self-explanatory.
Yeah, the next round coming though for us, Australia next week, same time as always, and the championship battle looking one way and one way only. Looks like it's Quiet Boys to lose.
Really is. Like, he's now a race win ahead of ST, and Pickle Alex not scoring, that's him pretty much out of it. Stranger McD couldn't quite really score enough, and I think Richie and Metal definitely well out of it at this stage now. So it's still between ST, Quiet Boy. I think Stranger McD might have an outside chance, but I think it is definitely Quiet Boys to lose. He is really taking it afar, and I'm just hoping that we still have a battle going into Silverstone, because that will be absolute cinema once we get there. But yeah, a great race today. Great to see all the numbers out, and hopefully it's the same next week.
Yeah, we need to see that promise that one of the drivers made to take out Quiet Boy in Australia just to keep that championship alive. Hopefully we don't see that. But we need the cinema at the final race. Thank you all for coming to the stream. And we'll see you next week for what hopefully won't be a championship decider.